there's so much noise drowning out the news. Talking heads, broadcast messages, press releases, they're telling you their side, but you just want the facts. And that's why you come to me. I give you the statistics without spin. Out of 116 million working age Nigerians, 35.5 million are employed full-time. That's 30%. I give you the context. I give you the history. I fight fake news with facts.
Kayode. No, Kayode, I will let you talk. Kayode, I will let you talk if you let me talk. Kayode.
That's why more and more Lagosians are tuning in. 500,000 Lagosians.
720,000.
970,000. Over 1 million Lagosians. They know that if you give me your afternoon, I will give you hard facts.
Well done, Sandra, on all you do, going beyond the headlines and focusing on the facts.
I am Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. It's 5 minutes past 3 o'clock. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and these are your hard facts. First hard fact of the day: 141 confirmed COVID cases from yesterday. So it's over 150 cases fewer than last Monday, which is good. River State had the highest number of cases with 33. Lagos was third with 29. It makes me so happy to see the numbers coming down. It's wonderful. Well done, everyone. Those of you who are working to make sure that the numbers come down, of course. But let's not slack. Let's keep taking precautions. Please limit your movement when you must go out to work or to buy essentials. Wear a mask and keep your distance from people. And wash and sanitize your hands as frequently as possible. Second hard fact of the day: vaccinations are ongoing. Just go to the primary healthcare center nearest to you for your first dose. But for your second dose, go to the one where you received your first. Thank you for tuning into the show today, of course. I have a great show for you, as always. Let's talk about Governor Sanwo-Olu wanting a bigger allocation for Lagos, right? Then let's talk about Oshiomhole saying that age has nothing to do with leadership. And then let's talk about the military launching new operations in the south. Chikwudi will bring you Community U Report as always, and on today's Big Hard Fact, we'll talk about cancer. It's Cancer Awareness Month, so today we're going to be answering your questions about early detection, diagnosis, and care. I'll have two experts who will join me. Lola James is a public health professional and researcher, and Dr. Omolola Salako is a clinical oncologist. As usual, we'll have news updates at the top of every hour. If you want to win during our giveaways, you know how we all love giveaways, right? I've got a few of those up my sleeve. So please, if you'd like to enjoy some of that good stuff, go ahead and keep listening until the moment when we'll give you some cool cash. I've been told that we are currently going to, well, not at the moment, but we're also going to be giving away 10,000 naira on the mobile app, just like yesterday. So when we tell you that it is time, go and search our mobile app for the treasure. The treasure is worth 10,000 naira, and that's how you win. All right, let's get right into the big three.
This is the Big Three.
The big three
on Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Should Nigeria give Lagos special status? Is age a factor for you when selecting your leader? So Oshiomhole says no, but what do you say? Will the new military operations preserve security in the south? Those are your big three. Lagos, let's talk. Governor Sanwo-Olu says the revenue allocation formula must change and that Lagos should be given special status. That's our first story. The governor was speaking at a public hearing on revenue allocation, and according to him, state governments should be getting a bigger piece of the pie because they have more responsibilities. Now, of course, this ties into the ongoing battle over VAT. VAT is just one of the revenue sources that is shared centrally by federal, state, and local governments. You also have crude oil revenues as well as other taxes and duties. And Sanwo-Olu is saying that for all these revenue sources, the percentages going to the states should go up. Do you agree? That's for the states in general. For Lagos in particular, Sanwo-Olu says the state needs a special status because it suffers many specific problems on behalf of the entire country. Let me quote him for you. He says, Lagos State was the epicenter for COVID-19, the same way it was for the Ebola virus some years ago. The management of these unforeseen occurrences comes with huge responsibilities and financial commitments on the part of the state government. Although we've put that experience behind us and forged ahead, the reality of these unfortunate incidents remains with us. Resources that should be committed to other areas of need are now being used for the restoration of damaged public facilities. It will be unfair for Lagos State to be left alone to bear these huge expenses without the assistance from the center. COVID-19 pandemic is another source that has once again supported the justification for Lagos State to be accorded the privilege of special status. As much as this affects the entire country, it is a fact that the degree of the havoc caused by this virus differs from state to state. He added that it is in the best interests of the country and all Nigerians for Lagos State, which accounts for about 20% of the GDP and about 10% of the nation's population, to continue to prosper. End quote. So I want to know if you disagree or agree with the governor's argument. He's saying that because Lagos is a commercial hub, it bears a lot of burdens and therefore it should get special privileges. Now, others are listening to this and they've said, well, this thing will only make the situation worse. The answer is to create incentives for other states to become hubs as well. Like maybe developing the other ports. That's what some people think. What do you think? Should Lagos be a special zone? Should states get more allocation? 0700-993-993-993 for men. For women, 01465-7190. 01465 7190. And then for men, of course, 0700-993-993-993. WhatsApp is back up now, so yay. It was a nightmare yesterday when people couldn't communicate with those they wanted to communicate with or do their business via Facebook or WhatsApp or Instagram. That must have been a nightmare for a lot of people, except of course Nigerians who access Twitter using a VPN, even though Twitter is banned, or access to Twitter is banned in Nigeria. But yeah, it was a nightmare, so we're glad that it is back. Let's talk to you via the phone lines now. Hello. Hello,
Sandra Ezekwesili.
thank you for calling. What's your name?
This is Chinoye.
Chinoye, good to have you on the show.
How are you?
I'm very well.
How is work?
Work is good.
Sandra, one person thought say age is not a number to rule, Abi. Abi?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see why Odo Papa then did the rule us. I don't see the reason why. You know, say if they catch them for here, they will come out like stealing. If they catch them for here, they will come out like stealing. That's why you need to rule again. I don't know that I defend my conversation.
Okay.
That's why you need to rule again. And then be the children of waiting tomorrow. I said they put down children of waiting tomorrow. Let them continue. How Nigeria was better when you still go rule? Sandra.
Yes, but I mean, does being a youth automatically mean that you will know what to do if you are in office?
Sandra, see, if they continue ruling us, Nigeria will not be straight. Okay, now I want to ask you one question, Sandra, because they always do like say the politician. You hear me now?
Okay.
Okay, now every time they go to tell us to say, they tell say about vote they can't, about vote they can't. Why are they now fighting for one particular people not to vote for a long time if our own vote is counting? I don't know if you're getting the thing.
I'm not sure I'm getting it.
If our own now they are saying that according to the news they are saying that the North are the people that will rule us. Abi. Why is it that they are specific? Why do they tell us that the North? Why? If our vote they can let Calabar, Isoko rule and the rest countries and the rest tribe rule. Right. Why are they fighting Why are they fighting for this thing? I don't know if you're getting.
But what has that got to do with the age of the person?
Yes, it's got to do with the age of the country because you see this next election. You see this election. It's older people that will rule us. Betting young person will not rule us.
All right, thank you very much for calling. Uche is a first-time caller calling from Aja. Uche, how are you? Hello, Uche. Okay. Call back if you can. 99.3, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for calling.
My name is Mazekalo.
Welcome.
Okay. Lagos State say they need more money than others.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hello?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Yes, Lagos says they need more money than others.
Hello?
Is this Mazekalo? Oh, I think someone is screening the calls. Whoever that is, please stop. Thank you. Because I don't think she's figured out how to do it well just quite yet. Please stop. Thank you. Okay? I'll just take the calls blindly. Thank you very much. 99.3, hello? Turn your radio off. Woo! 99.3, hello?
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
This is Wilson. I'm fellow Monkey.
Wilson, good to have you on the show.
Yeah, I'm calling from Ikeja. Concerning the... Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Actually, I'm first call. This is my first time calling.
Oh, that's great. We're glad to have you on the show.
Concerning the issue of the Lagos State should have the largest share of the central government in the larger. But I believe if they should do that, other states should have same thing because it was, I can think... hello?
Yes, You think? Hello? Are you there? Okay, then. 99.3. Hello? Hello? Okay. 99.3.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
My name is Friday.
Friday. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah. Actually, the first time caller.
I'm glad to have you here. Go ahead. You're talking to Sandra now. Go ahead.
Yes. I want to speak about Lagos, talking about the should maybe the center should at least support them in area of boosting the state.
They should be given special status.
Yes. I think they are right.
Okay.
But if you look at all the things going around Lagos, you see that Lagos is overpopulated. If you look at the history of the country, we heard that Lagos is the smallest in landmass. But the population of Lagos is bigger than every other state in this country. Now, if you look at the congestion we are having in Lagos, it's because of overpopulation. A lot of vehicles, people going to and Lagos will get quick to spoil and every other state because the usage of it is multiple. So if you look at it, if Lagos demand for additional allocation or assistance from the center, I don't think they are being greedy over it. And secondly, about the other issue of age, actually age matters. Yes, we have been. If you look at how the history about this country in far back, you see that even the current president we have today, when you hear about this, the first time he ruled this country, and add it to the age he is now, you begin to ask yourself, does it mean he's only the person who knows how to give the best dance set of this music? Can't any other person do better than that? In where I come from, we believe that when the father is greater than the son, that is a failure. Every father, every parent prays for his or her child to be greater than him. But today, if you look at it, you see we are going backwards. So I believe that today, if you look at the young people coming up today, you see that a lot of them are traveling. They are seeing so many things around them, gathering some intellectual knowledge. So I believe when they are on that position, they could offer better than what they are doing today. So that is my opinion towards that. They should allow the young people to take a test of that. You know, when you're in the field, when you see somebody playing ball, if you're outside the field, the people who watch the football, they seem to see the errors from the players than the person who is playing the ball. So we believe when the young people are at the corner looking at what is going on, we believe we can do better than what they are doing there. So let them allow the young ones to practice. So let's see what they have to offer. So it's just like someone who have gathered some intellectual knowledge and is dying with it. It doesn't make any sense. Let them allow them to exhibit what they have gathered.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling us Friday. We appreciate it. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
This is calling from Oshiomhole.
Chinoy, turn your radio off. Then go ahead.
It's off.
All right.
Okay. Based on the Buhari sending the military to the southeast, I am when you said it.
Okay.
Hello?
Okay.
Yeah, that's not the best option. It will bring more harm than good. So the best thing is to dialogue with those people that are bringing the problem, not bringing the military.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling. 99.3. Hello. Hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. If you just joined the show, you're listening to the Big Three on Hard Facts. We start the day every day with three of the biggest stories of the day. And our first one is from Lagos. Our governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, demanded 1% share in the revenue allocation formula after saying that the special status of the state and its prosperity directly or indirectly has multiplying effects on the Southwest and the entire country. He said that the revenue sharing formula should be 34% for federal government, including 1% for Abuja, 42% for state governments, 23% for local governments, and 1% for Lagos as a special status state, as against the current revenue allocation formula, which were 52.68%, 26.72%, and 20.60% for federal, 36 state governments, and 774 local governments in the country. And I wonder if you agree that that should happen for Lagos. Do you think that that would make things worse for Lagos, or do you think that that's actually something the country needs to pursue, or do you think perhaps the answer is to make other cities, commercial hubs like Lagos, by doing things as simple as maybe ensuring that the ports are working as well as the Lagos ports? What do you think? 01465 7190 for women. For men, 0700 993 993 993. Hello. Hello.
Hello, madam.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
My name is Tom.
Your name is?
Tom.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you because your radio is on.
Okay. It's off.
Your name is Tom?
Yes.
Okay, Tom. Welcome. Mm-hmm.
Yes, madam. Look, I need to talk about this Lagos state asking about 1% for itself. As if this is the only state that has become a capital. I think Calabar was once a capital of Nigeria.
Yes.
And I do believe that what is asking for by this 1% is supposed to be dealt with in the house there, just like Mrs. Tinubu was fighting for it before. Okay. It didn't materialize, or what?
Yes, it didn't materialize, yes.
So let him concentrate on this ratio of money, not something started for Lagos. But the money that generating in Lagos is too much. It's being wasted. Or let him concentrate with Agbo people. We can get money from there to run the affairs of Lagos. Thank you, madam.
All right. Thank you, Tom, for calling. I wonder what the money is too much means. 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Loxal Dala.
This is who?
Loxal Dala.
Good to have you on the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. I wish Lagos State to have a status more than another state, because a population that is in Lagos, at least they will help them with some things to do inside the city, and they will fix the bad roads and the things that is worrying Lagos, all these floods and other things. So it's good for Lagos to have a big status.
Okay. Thank you
Hello?
very much for calling. We appreciate it. All right. So I don't have access to WhatsApp right now. It's working. I just don't have access to it. So if you send us a message on WhatsApp, please resend it via Facebook so that we can take a look at the message and read it live on the show. All right. So again, Facebook, that's where you should send your messages to because I don't have access to WhatsApp. And I know that a lot of our listeners are already sending their messages in via WhatsApp. Now, Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Nigeria Info 99.3. All right, let's take a look at some of the messages that you've sent in so far. Okay, there's this one from Abdul Ghani Ujimo who says, the military launching new operations in the south is a welcome development and timely considering the rise of insecurity in the state. We've got Prince Adebola Alawode who says Lagos deserves it because it connects Nigeria with other West African countries. We've got Paul Silas Danadi who says, okay, I'm not going to read that message. Austin Ikemefuna says, Lagos needs no allocation in the first place to be able to run its affairs. Transportation sector alone can run the state smoothly, but these revenues are diverted to personal pockets in a way that even when federal government's annual budget, even with the federal government's annual budget, the state would still be needing much more. All right. Well, thank you very much for sending your message in. I think because you typed in a hurry, what you were meaning to say did not adequately was not adequately conveyed. We've got Oyewumi Damola who says we'll never forget what happened in Lekki Toll Gate. I will always remember the Lekki massacre. All right, that's my cue to take a break. If you just tuned into the show, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. We've got so many ways to get across via the show. If you're listening abroad, you can join the show by simply searching for us on Skype, Nigeria Info FM. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. Don't go away.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt or an extra hand.
Oshiomhole says age doesn't determine a good or bad leader. That's our second story. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You're listening to the Big Three on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Now, this is a conversation that always comes up, right, in Nigerian politics. In fact, it's been a constant since independence. We've had these debates about whether or not leaders should be chosen that when the people are young, things will be fine. The vice president and I served at a committee before I was brought to where I am. Did we really find any correlation between the values, the ideal, competence, and performance of people who occupied executive position and those who occupied legislative houses? The views they parroted, the decisions they took, and their idea of society, was it in correlation with their age and those views? I haven't found any, end quote. So he's saying what that grammar means is that in Oshiomhole's experience, there has been no difference between older leaders and younger leaders when it comes to opinions, ideals, patriotism, and ability to lead and govern. On the other hand, you have those who say that younger people should be excluded from leadership because they haven't developed enough maturity to handle governance. Now, this view is becoming less and less popular, Sha. That's why Nigeria was able to pass the not too young to run constitutional amendment to reduce the minimum age for running for office. Then you now have those on the other extreme who say that there should be a bias towards younger leaders. They say that society is evolving very fast and technology is changing everything in a way that older leaders have to do a lot more work to understand the landscape. So I'll give you quick examples. Cryptocurrency, digital currency in general, social media. There's the argument that older leaders don't understand the values and nuances of these new technologies because they didn't use them in their own life. They didn't use them earlier in life. And so the argument is that they make policy decisions based on an outdated understanding of the world and based on a mistrust of all this new stuff. And then there are those who argue that you look at Nigeria's demographic, more than 60% of Nigerians are aged between 18 and 35. More than 60%. So a majority of Nigerians are young. Doesn't it make sense to have leaders who are representative of that demographic? Now, different arguments. I just want to know what you think. Do you think that there's a correlation between age and good leadership? Is there a relationship between age and good leadership? What do you think about this concern that older leaders may not fully grasp newer technology and social constructs, which may lead them to make worse decisions, like asking you to go and farm and telling you to recruit the youths into the army and give them Gary? Men, call me on 0700-993-993-993. Women, call me on 01465-7190. And then, of course, we don't have WhatsApp available, so please, Facebook is the way to go. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
My name is Ola. I'm calling from Ikorodu.
Ola, welcome.
Yeah, hi, Sandra. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Well, I think that, we need younger generation, to hold some position. But I think when it comes to governance, I think it's a whole, different ball game. And that's why, in America recently, the election, and that's why, the current president now it belongs to that old generation. And I will say that we don't have younger people that are smart that can take, that post in the U.S. No, but when it comes to governance, you can't take away experience. It's just that in Nigeria, that experience is working against us in a way.
Now, experience also means that you're smart enough to surround yourself with younger people.
Exactly, yeah.
But that doesn't often happen here.
You can belong to that generation and surround yourself with
which is what, and the reason I remember that is because you used America as an example, and if you look at Biden's cabinet, a lot of the people in his cabinet are young, and experienced, or they're learning as they go. But that doesn't often happen in Nigeria. Why?
That's exactly what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be like, okay, we have a young person as a president or as a governor. But it does mean that these people, we can still have them, but they need to surround themselves with the younger, generation. And I don't know why, in Nigeria, everything is politics. Is politics.
Even in America, everything is politics. A lot of the appointments were political, right? But they were still political in a way that benefits the country. So why isn't Nigerian politics, done in a way that still benefits the country, even though the appointments are political?
That's $1 million question.
Ola, thank you for calling. 99.3.
Hello.
Thank you for calling. What's your name?
It's Lekki from Saga.
Lekki?
Hello?
Hello?
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What's your name? Hello? 99.3. Hello?
Hello?
Thank you for calling.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Roy. I'm calling from Lagos Island.
Good to have you on the show.
Yes. Did you say it was Oshiomhole that said what you just read out?
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Yes.
I laugh when some of these people who believe they are political players, when they make certain comments. Without insulting him, I respect him as a human being. I'm not trying to insult him. I'm not trying to ridicule him in any way. No. That's not my intention. But when he lost his wife, from the time he lost his wife, when he wanted to remarry, he didn't even go back to the same age bracket of his former wife. And he's talking about age is not age.
Marriage is different from governance now.
No, that's what I'm not trying to insult him.
Mm-hmm.
It's his choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he's not telling other people. Why don't you allow people who also have choice? Then you are now speaking. You want to speak for them, telling them that age is this and that and that. Why didn't you go for that same bracket of your former wife? You now went to somebody who's much more younger. I laugh when people behave in a funny way.
Oh, sorry about that. Call back if you can. Hello.
Good afternoon. Sandra.
Good afternoon. What's your name, sir?
This is Aaron from Saboniba.
Welcome. Go ahead.
You see, I'm trying to talk about the age issue. To rule is need wisdom, and wisdom, and also balance of mind. If you look at the book of Kings, First Kings and Second Kings, those who ruled the ages were not up to 50, but they committed a blunder because they did not allow elderly people who have wisdom to guide them. You see, so we should be very careful at the situation of Nigeria. Don't let us rush into say young people. Though not that young people cannot, but when it comes to human management, those who are in HR, they know what it is to manage human beings. And as this present condition of Nigeria, we should not rush into say they need youth or young people to rule. They can, but they are not. They need a wise wisdom to handle.
Would you say young people,
elderly people with wisdom, and they should be surrounded by a young, vibrant, and balanced mind to guide them. If you see what is going on now, those who surround the president, they are not doing well. They are not doing well. So that is why things are going astray. So, to me, we should hold those who are surrounding the president responsible in future if the country run aground. And also, I want to talk about the Eastern, what is happening. See, we should be very, very careful. When Boko Haram started, people were saying that let the Hausas, let them solve their problem. There's this and that. Okay, now it has now spread now. So we should be careful. I'm begging our brothers in the East. They should be careful. We should not take side with evil. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much for calling us. It's interesting that we're saying that older people are suddenly the vessel of wisdom. Is that what we have seen happen in the time that Nigeria has been a country? You know, I mean, we've been led by young people during military era when the Buharis and the Danjumas and the Obasanjos and the IBBs and Abachas first took power. They were young men. So we've seen them be in power as young men. We've also seen them be in power as old men. Has there really been a lot of difference in the way they've governed? Has there really been actions that have shown to us, okay, they were wiser as old men than they were when they were younger, or they were more foolish as young men than they have been as older men? Is wisdom something that really comes with age? I ask that question because, I mean, governance is not that much difference from corporate leadership. And you come into the corporate world, and leadership in the corporate world, in corporate Nigeria at least, is leaning younger and younger. To be a leader in an organization, you need buy-in from everyone. Much like in politics, you need to get buy-in from all the stakeholders. That's how you keep your company alive. That's how you keep your company going forward. That's how you're able to sell your company for billions and billions of naira. Yes, I'm thinking about Paystack. And the people who were in charge in that organization are all less than 30. You know? But that's corporate leadership. And corporate leadership, like political leadership, like governance, requires buy-in, requires know-how. Now, are we saying that all these young people who are in charge in corporate Nigeria are somehow less wise than the politicians who are older than they are and continue to vie for political office or continue to win political office in the country? Are we saying that if the roles were reversed, the young people who we've seen do phenomenal things will not be able to do well if they had political office? Like I said, this is a debate that has raged for a long time. I don't have the answers. I'm just asking the questions. You tell me what you think. 01465-7190 for women. For men, 0700-993-993-993. I feel like this is a big hard fact topic. Maybe next week. I don't know. 99.3, hello. Sorry about that. Call back if you can. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good to have you on the show.
Yes, Jane calling from Surulere.
Welcome.
Yes. So when it comes to leadership, it is not at all about age. Okay. Sometimes. Okay. I will give you an instance for the younger ones.
Okay.
The Chief was the former governor of the old River State.
That's right.
And if you see his life, he was younger. He was in his early 20s.
Right.
And he became a governor of the old River State.
That's right.
And he surrounded himself with people of Sarawiwa. Ken Sarawiwa then was commissioner for education.
That's right.
And you saw, if you go to, at least you've been in Port Harcourt, if you go to Lagos bus stop, you will see those giant stripes. The works are still speaking for him.
That's right.
We saw in the case of Gowon. Gowon was young. He was in his early 30s.
That's right.
He surrounded himself with people like Awolowo, who later became Minister for Finance, and he handled the economy of Nigeria then. I would lead you to something. When Job was suffering, and his three friends came and was advising him. And one of them, if you read the book of Job, he said, I thought age is wisdom. Sometimes age is not wisdom. It is not wisdom.
Okay.
And let me give you another example again of Rehoboam. When Solomon died, Rehoboam was supposed to take the mantle of Solomon.
That's right.
So he brought in the wise men, elderly men who advised him. He said, when your father was a king, he was so harsh on us. He used this hard weapon. So please, now you're taking over from him. Reduce it. He said the elders should go and he bring his like mind to his young people like him. And they advised him. He said, and they told him that he should increase it. And what happened? Rehoboam lost the kingdom to a servant, Jeroboam. Jeroboam collected 10 and he ruled 2. And the people of Israel said, to your tent, O Israel. So sometimes it is pride that makes our leaders, our politicians, not take advice from their younger ones. You can still put the younger ones in office. Sometimes put the younger one in office. And surround yourself with men of wisdom. Let me tell you, Sandra, I will go to Proverbs chapter 6.
Okay.
Now the Bible says, go to the ant, consider your ways, O you sluggard. Now, the ant is a tiny insect that you cannot stand to study the ant. It is impossible. So now it takes somebody. Before you want to study the ants, one day I wanted to do an experiment. I had to squat. Sometimes I had to sleep to study how this ants work. Instead, they don't have any director, they don't have anybody, but they work in summer. So it now takes a man who is humble, who has humility to study. You have to squat. That squatting down to study the ant means humble. But our politicians don't take advice. The governor wants to work the work of the deputy. He wants to work the work of the commissioner for finance. He wants to work everything. Even sometimes when you give them advice, they throw it aside. They take the advice. They don't even take the advice from you. So how do we get good governance? Even in heaven, Bible says, let us make man in our own image. God did not say he wants to make man in himself. So sometimes it is pride that makes us not to go for people who have wisdom. I will tell you one thing before I cut off the line.
Okay.
Sometimes when I write letter, I know I'm intelligent, but when I write letter, I will read the letter and I will submit the letter to my brother, our last born, and I will say, please go through this letter and see if there is any mistake that is in this letter. So let me. And he will go through it and he will correct it for me. And I will take it back because I am a science student. Then I was doing that. He's an art student. So he speaks English better than me. Okay. So as a scientific student, we speak science. So but if I have pride in me, because even the Bible says pride goeth before a fall. So if I have pride in me, I will say, after all, why would I go and meet our last born? How many years? I used more than 10 years as senior, and I will go and meet you to tell me how. But no, that is leadership. You bring in humility, place in here, humility, place, and you become a successful leader. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. I quite enjoyed that conversation. And, she reminds me of Dietis Spieth. He was young when he was governor of Old River State, and he had young, energetic people in charge of his cabinet. And then he also gathered older technocrats in an advisory council. In fact, very early in his government, he went to the advisory council and he said, look, I'm going to need you every step of the way to clarify the needs of the people. And then he worked with his cabinet to create policies that fit that advice. Some say that this is still the most successful government in Rivers history in terms of infrastructure and social policies. Some say. Old Rivers people will have to be the ones who tell me whether they agree or not. But let me quickly bring you our final story and then we'll call it a wrap on the big three. But of course, at 5 o'clock, we'll talk about cancer, because there's so much education that needs to happen with that. So how to detect it early, how to diagnose, the kind of care required. I'll have 2 experts joining me at 5 o'clock. Don't miss that conversation. But for our third story, the military is launching 3 new operations in the South and North Central. We heard from Onyema Nwachukwu, the army spokesman. He said each operation will be restricted to one geopolitical zone. So Golden Dawn in the southeast, Stillwater in the southwest, and Enduring Peace in Kogi State. But Nwachukwu says these are routine exercises that they are intended to maintain security during the Christmas period. He said, quote, "For all intents and purposes, it should be noted that these field training exercises are routines conducted yearly by the Nigerian Army, designed to effectively check all forms of criminality and allow for free movement of persons during the Yuletide." The statement also adds that the FTEs, the field training exercises, will equally provide a platform to sharpen the skills of participating troops on the conduct of internal security operations. End quote. Now, because I saw that, I figured that's a very interesting point, because the army is saying that it's being deployed for crime prevention in these places. And that's odd to me, because under the Constitution, crime prevention is for the police. We're not a military country anymore. We're a democratic country. The army is meant to handle external threats to the country and insurgents. So if the army is being called in to prevent robberies, does this mean that the government doesn't think the police has the capacity to handle its routine responsibilities anymore? Is that why perhaps the president was talking about employing 10,000 extra police people? And I also want to know what you think about the army in these places. Do you think the army is needed in all of these places? Do you think that in the last couple months of the year, the Southwest will need army to keep the peace? Because we've seen the levels of violence get higher in the Southeast recently. So do you think maybe that it's gotten to the point where the police cannot be expected to handle it and they need the army to step in? What do you think about these announced operations? 0700-993-993-993. Men call me there. Women call me on 01465-7190. Hello, thank you for calling us.
Hello, Sandra. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. What's your name?
Yeah, this is Alex.
Hi.
Now, on your last story, I don't think that is the way forward. I know some people will say that we are in a special time. Let me put it that way.
Okay.
Right? But we must summon the courage to begin to solve our problems from where we should start. We should situate our problems properly, and then we need to solve them there. Let me just leave it at that, because I have a few comments to make here.
Okay.
Now, on the issue of age, according to Oshiomhole, age is not what brought us this place where we are, right? It is normal for somebody who has not developed, who has not invested enough in himself or herself in terms of your cerebral capacities, right? To look to the heavens or something, to look to the abstract, to look to the spirits, your ancestors for solutions to mundane problems.
Okay.
That's why we're talking about, right? That's why somebody called in. I listened when the guy said he needs somebody who's wise, who is this, who is that. If you tell him to point out that person in society, he cannot point out that person. Do you understand? That's what I mean by we're looking at our mundane problems. So yes, we're looking to the heavens to help us look for that person. The person doesn't exist. You have to pick the person from among us. It's not age. It is the lady who called before me said something that it is pride. I would disagree a little bit, just a little bit. Okay. It is ego and greed. Okay. The difficulty we find ourselves in today, most of it was done by all these military escapades. All these people that we're pointing to now, they may go on, and even this present president who was a young man then. Do you understand? But where ego and greed comes in is where people take over from them. That is, we agree that we are going into a democratic government, and we still don't want to correct the anomalies that these people brought upon us. That's why it doesn't have anything. Age, fine, maybe these politicians have all the language. Age may be part of it, but it's not what brought us here. And as for Sanwo-Olu declaring special status, let me tell you, Sandra, I told you a few years ago that I'm an environmental scientist, I'm a climate enthusiast. Yeah. There are several things that already bestow the special status on Lagos that the administration is deliberately looking away from. Okay. And you are going to make noise in Abuja that they should declare you special status. Lagos State generates most of the global warming effect in this country. There are more than 4.5 million vehicles running on the streets of Lagos every day, generating tailpipe fumes. You know what they call tailpipe fumes? Good. And here we are. We have made several attempts to, engage with the Lagos State, but they will look the other way because the diesel, the heavy carbon fossil fuels that we are burning, is favoring some of their clan. Let me tell you, we know what our problems are.
Alex, thank you so much for calling. I wish I had more time to talk to her, but I have to take a break. Lagos, if you just tuned into the show, you're listening to 3 of the biggest stories of the day. We start hard facts with that, and then we move on to Community Report or Checkpoint or the Glass Ceiling or Eyewitness or League of Extraordinary Nigerians. In a few minutes, we'll bring you Community Report because it's Tuesday. But for now, a quick break. We'll be right back.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.
Everybody needs a little help every now and then. Sometimes it's sugar or salt or an extra hand to change a flat tire or a small loan. At Kuda Microfinance Bank, we believe that your bank should do more than just store your money. We want to do more for you. So when you use your Kuda account to pay bills, buy airtime, and make transfers regularly, we'll offer you an overdraft, which is a low-interest loan that you can take anytime you need it.
The likes of Murtala IBBOBJ became head of state in their young age. We haven't achieved anything with older generation leading us in recent times. What we need is a working system. France president is not old. Yes, he's actually in his 40s. Olasunkanmi Amos with that message. He also says, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think it's wise enough to accord Lagos a special status. Just as you have suggested, other seaports should be made functional just like Lagos. The leakages in Lagos economy is the reason why the governor thinks that he needs a special status. Ajide Kayode on Facebook says, President Sandra, constitutionally, age is very important in leadership. It's just that when it comes to Nigeria's system of election or choosing leaders, everything becomes abnormal. All right, he's writing us from Ajegunle. Thank you so much for your message, Ajide Kayode. Okunade Michael says, Lagos governor is just being selfish. What any leader in any part of this nation should be talking about is general development of every corner of this nation. All right. We've got Hilary Ozemena who says the military launching new operations in the south is a gimmick that they've been deploying to subjugate the southerners. Despite the insecurities in the north, the military is only interested in the south. Well, they're launching in the north central, in the southeast, and in the southwest. We've got Udabi Abdullahi who says, Sandra, as far as I'm concerned, age has nothing to do with leadership. I think what we should be bothered about is having a kind of leader who puts smile on our faces. These you people's age has nothing to do with leadership. That's how you end up with a 90-year-old who can barely walk, who can barely think, who is only thinking about, things that happened in the 80s and in the 60s and the 70s, who isn't aware of where the world has moved to, of where the world is at, who doesn't have any fresh ideas, and who isn't wise enough to surround herself or himself with people who know. And it's one thing to surround yourself, it's another thing to listen to them, like one of the callers called in to say. So this age does not matter thing that people are saying. Hey! Let's take a break.
Talk never stop.
When I collect my salary, my husband will lock me in the house and make sure I submit to the whole money.
My wife woke me in the night one certain time and he asked me a question that I should swear whether if I don't cheat on her. And leave just spending what little revenue we have to look for oil is a waste of money that could have